blame Jake.
Honey, 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 dill.
What?
Honey, 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 dill. So I was just in Winnipeg.
I blame Jake for being in Winnipeg for not having an episode out last week. Sorry.
But in Winnipeg, they have honey dill sauce.
Yeah, that sounds fucking delicious.
It is. Let me tell you, it is.
It's such a weird combination I wouldn't have ever thought putting together.
Yeah, it's really good. Rob, one of the guys I was traveling with, he's originally from Winnipeg, and he was so fucking stoked to have honey dill sauce there. And he said he makes his own at home, and it's really easy. It's literally just honey, mayonnaise, and dill.
Yeah.
And like blend it all together and dip all your chicken strips in it.
Is that what you had it with, your chicken strips?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they serve it with a lot of things. Almost anything you would get a side sauce for. It's like, do you want honey dill?
The chicken wings.
Oh.
That would be
And with
good.
fries, actually.
Interesting.
It was really good with the fries.
Okay, next time we make wings, we should try that.
Yeah, we're going to make some up here. We just need to get the dill.
So where were you?
I was in Winnipeg.
Why?
Which is Manitoba. For those who don't know. I like including a little Canadian geography because...
So then tell us where exactly Manitoba is.
It is 2 provinces east of us, which I also forgot about. I thought it was just the province over, and I forgot about Saskatchewan.
You forgot about the Saskatchewans.
I'm sorry, Nikki.
She's like, my hometown?
I know. I flip them sometimes. Like, I don't know. I can't always remember which one is next to Alberta.
That's really funny considering you had family in Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm. But it was always just Saskatchewan. Like, I never pictured it in a map in my mind. Like, I'll blame my 5th grade teacher and the U.S. education.
Yeah, that's because more like it.
Yeah. Well, we spent a lot of time learning all 50 states, where they are. Like, you had to recognize them by shape and know the capital and their name and like where the capital city is. So I got really good at U.S. geography and knew a little bit of Canada. And just on my own started to learn where countries are, but like what's within those countries, I'm not always that great with the geography of it.
You know what, though? America is very divided.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have that many.
It's true.
Because if you can think about it with the provinces, imagine breaking those up.
Yeah.
It's like split them in 2. Fuck, that'd be too much.
Like imagine if there was even 30 provinces.
No, thank you. I like the simple. Keep it simple. Stupid.
Yeah. And I will say, I feel like Ontario West is pretty easy because everything's kind of a big rectangle for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, oh yeah, there's that rectangle, that one, that one, that one. And to me, the eastern provinces, like on the Atlantic, like I have no idea. I know some of the names, but could I tell you which one's which and where? Probably not.
I used to love, and that's just because I used to memorize things, but I used to love geography of the world.
The world's fun.
The world, the states. I used to remember the states. I don't know shit anymore. I have a bad memory, but
there's
anyways,
Google Maps.
It was fun. Yeah, but that's not the point. I was testing myself. We should just test ourselves. We should just
monthly geography
have
quizzes.
A quiz.
There was a fun game I had on my phone for a while where it would drop you in Google or into
Google in school goal.
It would drop you into a Google Street View of a random place in the world.
Oh my god!
And then you had to figure out
no way
where it was.
There's no way.
It was really fun.
No,
I was surprised how close I could get to some things.
You've been a lot of places too. So
I hadn't been to these places though.
Yeah, but you're just, you know things.
Yeah, I don't know. There is something about geography that I can quickly understand. Like if I get dropped into a new city, I could navigate my way around pretty confidently.
Yeah.
Just walk around a little bit. I figure out where a big landmark is. Like it's easy here in Calgary because we have the mountains off to the west and then it's flat to the east. North-south's a little weird, but because I know where the river is, I can always know if I'm sort of north or south of the river. And that helps me out, but...
That's nice.
Yeah.
I have no idea what direction is what.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like somehow in my mind I see a map. Like, you know, on the
That's
Google
cool.
view, like I can almost see that in my mind
That's
and
really
sort of
cool.
picture where I am.
Yeah, but it
And it
doesn't make
gets,
sense to me.
yeah, it's weird.
But anyways, so what did you do in Winnipeg?
Oh man,
Okay,
drank.
but tell us about it.
Well, it was officially a work trip,
It
but
was more like play.
yeah,
So work was before hours.
exactly. Exactly. So there's this organization, Skills Canada, and they put together.
We talked about this.
Yeah, because we were in Edmonton shooting the provincials. So it's actually a worldwide thing, but within Canada, you know, they have their own organization that organizes all the competitions within the country. And so every province and territory sends forth a team of competitors, and it's all kinds of different like service jobs, trades jobs, and things along that nature. So it's a huge range from like heavy duty diesel mechanics to automotive repair
Cooking.
to hairstyling. There's cooking in two categories where it's like baking, so desserts and breads and stuff, or like cooking, cuisine. Hairstyling, aesthetics. So even like facial treatments and massage therapy
Very
and stuff. Like
interesting.
not even necessarily the
wild.
creative, artistic, like
Yeah.
makeup and painting. They're literally judging on the service. Carpentry, finish carpentry, aerospace. Like I think there's some 40 categories or something like that, just under 40 categories. So, and then that split between, what do you call it? I guess like high school and college. Was it in Canada, like secondary and post-secondary? Is that okay? Yeah, couldn't remember the terms. So you have 2 levels to each of those skills as well. So everyone competes in like a regional thing. So in their own, I guess here in Alberta, it'd be your county. You would compete within that, and then you get to go to the provincials, which that's what we just shot in Edmonton. So that was for everyone competing to who's going to be Team Alberta to go to nationals, which was in the Winnipeg.
Team Alberta.
Yeah.
And how did Team Alberta do? Do you know? Well, you were
They did all right.
You were taking the photos of the winners.
Yeah.
So
most of it was like at the beginning, there's a big like opening ceremony night. They bring everyone in, all the teams hyped together. There was this, they closed down. So we were shooting in the RBC Convention Center downtown, and it crosses over York Street. Like the convention center's on 2 sides of it, and there's a walkway between, but they closed down the street, and then everyone came out there, and we had just sort of like a big hype party, and they served some snacks and refreshments. So we were shooting that, and then everyone goes into the big ballroom and stage, and they welcome everybody, tell them what everything's going to be about. All the teams do like a big fun sort of parade in, which was wild because everyone's got these what do you call those things? You know, those little blow up tubes that you smack together that are big at like soccer games and stuff.
I think so.
They kind of look like pool floaties or something.
Okay.
But so everyone, like each province and territory had their own like branded ones with, you know, Quebec, Ontario, BC, Alberta, and signs and flags. So I was hanging out with the video team, and they were bringing in a bunch of people from each team and doing a big hype thing of like, all right, everyone, like cheer and scream and go crazy and wave your flag around. And then they would just go nuts too when they were coming into the ballroom. So it was nice because we just shot that in the evening, and then it's 2 days of shooting the floor as all the competitors compete. And then a cool thing that they do is they also bring in field trips from like all the schools in town.
Oh,
so a bunch of kids can
idea.
go around. Yeah. And they can see like, what are these trades? And they have a bunch of, I think they call it try a trade. So they have a bunch of different vendors from different companies and stuff who are there. And they usually have some kind of demo set up where it's like, here, learn how to solder some metal together. Here's how you can weld a thing. Like Lincoln Electric, they had a little, it's sort of like a video game welding thing, but you use an actual welding handle, and it tracks you in 3D space. And so everyone's competing to see who can make the best welds across a little line.
Cool.
And yeah. And of course, samples of all the food, like the cuisine people are always giving out foods, or you get to like, you know, put the frosting on a cupcake and add some sprinkles and eat it. And
so how many people do you think were there?
I think a number I heard was they were expecting around 10,000 a day between all of the
Oh
students
my
and stuff coming in
God.
and out and around. Yeah, it was really packed. But I know I think it's like 400 competitors across everything.
So
So
I
it's
don't
big.
remember this at all in BC. We never had anything like this.
I never heard of it until we shot it in
Yeah.
Alberta.
We never had, maybe it was my small town, or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, we never had opportunity like that.
Yeah.
Like even to do a field trip to go see something like that.
Well,
What
I
a
think it's
great
just
idea.
the locals. I think it's just the local schools. So like I think all those schools are only from Winnipeg.
Yeah,
So
either
unless you're
way.
close enough. But
That's cool. Good job, guys.
yeah.
I've been out of school a long time, so maybe it just wasn't there yet.
And a cool conversation that people were having was around those kinds of jobs. Because a lot of like even pipe fitting and refrigeration and plumbing and all of these, like they're jobs that I feel in at least my school experience were always kind of looked down upon. Where I'm like, no, you don't want that. Like you want to go to
Dirty
college.
job.
Yeah. Like you want to go to college. You want to like not do that. You
Do
want to
business.
have a degree and like walk around in a tie. And yeah, it was kind of a nice flip on that because people were recognizing that these jobs are really important. They take a lot of intelligence, a lot of skill, a lot of effort, a lot of coordination,
a lot of what's the word, sacrifice as well, because you're working like shift work.
Yeah,
with trades like that.
How undervalued they are, but also I think how backwards it is because a lot of those jobs people can actually make a lot more money than college educated degree people. And I'm like, that's really dumb.
My favorite
I don't like
jobs,
that we like sort of are made to feel like those are icky or like not cool or not good.
I was going to say my favorite jobs have always been down and dirty, nitty gritty kind of thing, like doing actual work.
Yeah, same.
So
like even my work, sometimes it feels like you're not doing much, but then you go out and you do it, like you shoot an event like that. You're like, well, man, this is a lot of work.
Yeah. So I want to know what extracurricular. I think
what?
this happens like every episode. I struggle.
We both struggle.
Say a word. Extracurricular activities did you do?
Oh man, which ones do I remember?
Can you start from the beginning? Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing in the creative business, and I'm assuming a lot of other businesses, you know, you go on a work trip, and I was joining a group of people who had been doing this for a long time. So they're all like, it's like a summer camp, right? Everyone's coming back together to see each other for the week. And so we all go out and we get silly and we're goofy. And of course, Rob, the other, he was doing the photo edits for us. He's from Winnipeg, like I mentioned. So he always had friends and family he wanted to invite out and go hang out and party with. And yeah, so, okay, we'll start from the beginning though.
Yeah.
My favorite thing on this was that I have a friend, Eder, who I had met down in Mazatlan, Mexico, when my friend Brian and I were teaching filmmaking down there. And he married a woman who's from just outside of Winnipeg, and they live there now. So I was super excited to get to see him because I don't think I have seen him since that summer I met him in 2015.
That's a long time.
Yeah. But we
That's
got
almost
along
10
really
years.
well when, like, during that trip. And we were sharing one of the rooms, like it was sort of bunk rooms. So we had been like bunk mates together. And then he showed us this awesome restaurant, La Copita, which he reminded me of the name of while I was there. So the first night I actually went out with him, went over to their place.
You met his wife and everything?
Yep. Got to meet Madeline for the first time.
Nice.
Because I had never met her, even though we had both been like at that place in Mazatlan that same year. But I guess she had like gone back for a while and then come back. So I came in during the time that she wasn't there. But it was also fun because we knew a bunch of the same people who were there and doing stuff. So that was really cool. But Eder and I, we just like stayed up really late drinking tequila and eating this fantastic. Oh, he made, what do you make? Cochinita pibil, which is a Yucatecan like barbecue pork. And then we put that on tostadas with some homemade refried beans that he had, and then a little side salad, and of course his favorite hot sauces. Oh, It was and pickled onions.
I love pickles.
Pickled onion.
Yeah, I like pickles. I like anything that's in vinegar.
Yeah, you would like that. So yeah, went over there, had this amazing dinner, and then he was breaking out all his favorite tequilas, and we were just hanging out, chatting, talking about our experiences with in Mazatlan and the people we knew, how they're doing, what's going on now. Was learning all the drama that was going on that I was unaware of, and this is fun. It was fun.
It's awesome.
I don't want to go into that stuff.
No, that's cool. We don't have to. Of course not. That has nothing to do with us.
Yeah. But it was fun. We stayed up way too late. I think we were up till 2 or something.
Yeah, you had a late week all week, man.
Yeah, every day.
I don't know how you, it's a good thing you were out I'm not trying to take away from anything, but just like taking photos.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck.
Oh, it's funny. So then the first day was really busy. I mean, I think anytime you're covering an event, the first day of covering that event, you go really crazy because you're like, oh my God, I got to make sure I get everything, start like figuring out what people are doing, what their work's going to look like, what kinds of shots are available. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that first day we hit it really hard. Each day it was crazy. Rob said we shot, like we were literally shooting a wedding every day in terms of total images. Because that first night together we shot, I think it was like almost 3,000 images.
Oh, fuck. Poor Rob.
Yeah.
He had to go through all that.
Mm-hmm. I know. Poor Rob. Gets to sit up in his nice cool booth, just clicking buttons, eating snacks, sharing jokes with the video guys. Poor guy.
Oh, sorry. The hangover guys are out taking photos, doing the legwork.
Yeah, we're lugging around all the gear, snapping photos, acting energetic, getting people to smile.
Yeah, the nice thing about you is like, I don't know what is going on in your body, but you are like up and at 'em and ready to fucking go.
Can be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always look at, I think it's why I like doing project-based work. Sorry, I start talking really fast. I got to get my podcast voice back on. I like doing project-based work because there's a deadline when everything has to be done. And I'm like, great. So that means I need to be there at this time to have these things ready. And then we're going to be done at that time. And then I'm free to go. Or like, if it takes a little longer, whatever, get it done. But knowing at the end of it, like, there's nothing more to do. Mm-hmm. I can sort of fuck off. Like, that's why I intentionally planned some time this week coming back to say, I'm not going to schedule any work there. I'm going to have time to just be at home, tackle some home projects, rest and recover, because you do go hard. And especially when you add on the going out every night aspect of it, you're like, wow.
What else did you do?
That was a lot. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that first night. Yeah, so I went with Eder. And then the second night we went out. Where did we go? There's a place called The Local that we love going to. And it's like a tap room. So when I was at Eder's place, the other guys and everyone had gone to this place called The Local. And they made friends with one of the waitresses there. So like every night they're like, well, let's just go back there and start there. It was like the starting point all the time. Mm-hmm. But we stayed there forever drinking. And then they brought out some, actually, I don't know if they were complimentary, but brought out some shots for us. And I guess in Winnipeg, they have a special shot that's called the Obama. And it came out when they made it when Obama was elected. And the only tie-in that I remember was because it had black cherry vodka in it.
Oh. Blah. Was it disgusting?
It actually wasn't bad. Like, it was just a hint of black cherry. I forget what the other stuff in there was. But it was really cold and refreshing.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
So I was like, that was nice. That was a nice shot.
That's funny.
But, by the time, when you get to the time in the night when you're having shots, like, you shouldn't be having shots. You know what I mean?
And that was the early night. That was beginning.
Yeah. Well, I think we were still out till 2 or something.
Was that the same night that you went to that concert, the outdoor concert? Okay.
No, this was the night when we went to the karaoke because we were at The Local forever.
No.
Yeah. And then after that,
did you go to karaoke twice that week then?
No, this was the first night. Maybe I don't remember.
I'll
where
tell
we
you
went the
all about
second night.
my week while Jake was away after. But to me, I thought I knew, but it's a blur, I guess.
It is. It definitely is.
Okay, so you went to karaoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It took you a long time to tell me about that, though.
The karaoke?
You left on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
Wednesday you went to Eddard's? Eddard?
No, Tuesday I went to Eddard's.
Eddard's. And
Wednesday
then
we
Wednesday you
went
went to
out.
karaoke. But
That was karaoke.
when you showed me the video, it said Friday.
Maybe it was Friday then.
Because I swear, you went to that outdoor concert for like one day before your karaoke.
No, the outdoor concert was the last night we went out.
I'm going to let Jake continue talking while I look back.
Anyways, this
in
is
the
how
history.
I remember it. But yeah, that's like the sum of all the nights. We just ended up going out. Oh, no, because it was the night after karaoke. That's when we went to the Palomino and we were dancing
So
in
it
the
was that
patios.
same night.
Nope. Different nights.
Huh?
It was Eddard's, karaoke, Palomino, concert. That was our schedule.
So anyways.
Yep. Anyways, but all that to say, we ended up at karaoke, really drunk. Some guy at the bar came up to me and said I look like Steve from Blue's Clues. And we recorded a fun video together singing the We Just Got a Letter song, really drunkenly. But it was
You should have to share. You should
hilarious.
share that. And by the
I
way,
should.
if anybody knows Blue's Clues, if anybody has seen Jake's face, there's no fucking way. It's not even close.
It's the first time I've gotten that comparison.
It's really weird.
But I laughed a lot because I loved Blue's Clues as a little kid.
Oh, man.
So I was like, I don't care. I'm taking
Age
it.
yourself.
I love it. Yeah.
Also, he was probably wasted.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. He was in a bucket hat and a Hawaiian t-shirt at 2 in the
Plus,
morning.
how does that make sense? You have no fucking hair.
I don't know. I'm
And
not
glasses.
trying to make
The
sense
Blue's
of it.
Clues guy does have hair and no glasses. I can see him, and I never watched that show. Anyways,
Yeah, it's a weird
it's still
one.
fun. I like it when people like come up and say shit like that.
You know, there's something about my face because I always get no people like
There's
come up to
something
me.
about your face for
They're
sure.
literally fuck you. No, but like I always get people who come up to me. Like my whole adult life, I've had people approach me, strangers, saying, "Hey, you look like so and so," or "You look familiar. Where have we met?" And I'm always like, "I don't know you," or "I don't think I do," but like, "Thank you. Have a good day."
Who are the so and so's that they say you look like?
I don't know off the top of my head.
You know,
But like that, for example, where I'm
Yeah.
like, he comes up, he's like, "You look like Steve from Blue's Clues." I'm like, "No, I don't, but thank you." Like, whatever.
You're gonna share that video with us.
For sure.
But anyways, so regardless of the order of how you did things, you did karaoke, you went to this outdoor concert, you went to that place a lot.
The local?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
and,
much every night would start at the local. Because it was also a quick walk from our, 10-minute walk from the hotel.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Oh, and then, one of the nights, James, the other guy who was with the video team, wanted to like watch the hockey matches. And they always had the TVs up with the games on it. So,
You went somewhere that made me jealous.
ooh. Was it
It was the
steak?
concert. It was the concert and the karaoke. Dick. So,
Yeah.
what more do you want to say about it?
Well, I mean, then the second night we went out to this place called the Palomino, which used to be an old country bar, like country dance bar. And now it's just like a full-on nightclub that's kind of really sketchy. Yeah, it's very Winnipeg.
Yeah, but you were with a group, so
Totally. And I didn't feel
as long as you don't get any fights. you're good.
I didn't feel endangered. Oh, James got in the middle of a fight. He wasn't like in the fight, but like he was trying to get out, and then a fight broke out around him, and he was like,
shoot.
"What the fuck?"
Poor baby bird.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
stuck in the middle of this fight. He doesn't need to be. Yeah, that could have been dangerous.
Yeah. Well, there was another point too. We're on the floor, and some girl dropped her glass, and so like the glass shattered across the floor and stuff. So we're all like trying to sort of swipe it away, but like also like there's just a bunch of glass on the floor. Anyway,
Yeah.
this place, the Palomino, like you come in, and I swear to God, there must have been like 30 security guards working this tiny little place. It'd be like maybe 2.5 Blues cans in size.
That's like small.
Yeah, it's still pretty small. But they were in different areas, right? Like you had the main hall with the main bars and the big dance floor and the DJ booth up top. And then you would go downstairs and there's another little bar.
Right? Outside too? Were you guys outside?
Yeah, and there's an outside. Yeah. So like there's 2 layers inside that are kind of 3 layers, but because the main area is so open, like with a really high ceiling and everything, it's kind of just one area. But you had to go downstairs to the bathrooms, which were also really fucking gross and sketchy.
Never
and then,
go
like,
alone.
Down there was like the well, similar to, where is it that we went out here in Calgary, where like downstairs had like sort of the house music and everyone's just kind of like in a trance vibe.
I think it starts with a C. Anthony took us there.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it right now. Anyways, it reminded me of that, where, you know, like upstairs was like all the pop, how like everyone's just
It was a little bit different, yeah. But downstairs is all EDM.
Yeah, kind of. It had that same vibe, because that's just like everyone was very much like on something and in their own little trip. You're just like, whoa, ooh, this is weird. It was all lit with like pink light too, so everything's just like one color of light.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Give me more
But
color.
the bars were less busy down there, so you go down there to get a drink instead of like messing around upstairs. And plus, the washrooms were only down there.
Oh.
And you could only go down to the washrooms on one set of stairs, and then you had to go up on the other set of stairs on the other side. It was like a whole loop. And if you tried to go backwards, the security guard would put his hand on your chest and be like, "You turn around, son."
Wow.
Yeah, they weren't messing around.
That's funny. Hey, I get it. The flow of the drunkards. I get that.
And then outside, they had like their smoking pit, and then they had this cool big patio, and they had another DJ out there who was spinning stuff. And that one was the dirty floor.
The dirty floor?
I've never seen so much groping and making out.
Oh.
Like you'd look
grinding.
around.
Yes. Like a high school party.
Oh no. This is like
high school dance.
Oh, this is like the start of a
orgy?
Yeah. Pretty much. There's like hands going down pants. Like it's yeah, full on.
Side note. I came across a reel on Instagram, and it was just at a regular bar, at the bar, where some guy started fucking. Sorry, people. This just came up. His girl. I don't know. This girl
Whoever
in front of him at the bar.
Oh my god!
Like had pants down and everything.
No.
Yeah, I
in
don't.
A bar, like. Was it a packed bar?
No, this person took a clear video of it happening with nobody in front, and these guys. I'm sorry. Some people do some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
I just thought that was gross.
Yeah.
But I also at Roosters. Do you know Roosters? Have you ever been to Roosters?
I don't know if I went there.
Roosters.
But I know where it is.
Roosters was the dirtiest country club ever. Not club. Bar in Port Coquitlam. And I remember, I'm sorry for all those people who don't want to hear this, but I'm just going to share a little tidbit. I remember being outside in the smoking area and like this, I feel funny saying it now, but like this couple, whatever, this guy and this girl are in the corner where everybody can still see. And he was like, hand up the skirt. And she's just looking like a fucking deer in the headlights, and he's going to town, and she's still just staring there like, and people are fucking looking at her.
Yeah.
Like, we can't see you? Like, we can't see you?
Maybe that's more what drunk goggles are. You're like, I can't see the people who see me.
Now that I say that, I wonder if I should have been like, hey, are you okay? I feel bad now. Shoot. I've been listening to too much true crime. Hope she's okay.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyways, gross.
All the people here seemed really into it, so I had no concerns about that.
I'd be down.
But
I'd be down. Maybe not like all the way, but
yeah, it was getting a lot. It was like, okay, there's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it felt like you were at the start of an orgy. I was like, I definitely don't want to be in an orgy.
So you and Rob had your own little dance sesh. That's adorable.
Oh man. But the other thing they did have, oh right, I forgot, because I told you about the guys they brought up on stage, and they had like a booty shaking contest for all these guys, and it was horrendous.
Yeah, because guys don't have butts in the first place.
Well, and the whole point here, I was like, I thought this is supposed to be like a fun, like booty shaking, you know? I'm like, you're supposed to tease and strip and like, right? That's where my mind goes, at least.
Booty shaking
and these,
doesn't make me think of stripping.
well, I don't know. Maybe that's what I was expecting. Because like by the time they had narrowed it down, it started with like 16 guys or something, and they were trying to narrow it down to one winner. So it went like 16 to 8 to 4, and then to whoever wins that, I guess.
Wish you had gone up.
I didn't watch the end because it was so disappointing. Because
you're hilarious.
Like, come on.
You should have just gone up there yourself.
I should have. Show them how it's done.
You would have been able to do it, man.
Yeah. Because, it's just at one point, like every guy up there is like 18 or 19. And like
teach them how it's done.
They were like too shy to take anything off, and their big move was like, oh, I'm gonna like hump the floor on the stage.
Oh god.
And I'm like, dude,
that is so
stand
overrated.
Up. We want to see you. Like, you're not fucking, you're dancing and entertaining.
I think that's something
and that's where it felt weird, because I'm like, you gotta entertain. Like,
I think that's something that people, like guys, think people want to see, or girls want to see, is when you go down and you hump the floor that way, kind of like the worm. But you're no Magic Mike.
No. Even watching Magic Mike, I'm like, you got better moves than that guy. Like, come on. Oh, Chantel is looking off like she disagrees. Have you seen
Magic Mike?
I have not.
Well, if you can do better, I would love to see that.
Okay. New goals.
We have all this space over here.
By 40, I'm going to do better.
No, you just said you could do better. I expect that.
Okay.
Later. Anywho.
But all that to say, it was a very disappointing performance. Across the board. Very Winnipeg performance.
Whoa. You think you know everything about Winnipeg now? Fuck off.
It just has a vibe of a place that...
dirty.
Yeah. Well, it's...
stabby.
And for those who... Yeah, those who maybe don't know about Winnipeg, it's also one of the crime capitals of Canada, leading the way with like murders and knife
stabbing.
Crimes. Yeah. So like when I was at Edder's place... I don't think I told you this either. We were out on his patio, and they live sort of close to the river in the Exchange area. Okay. I hope I said that right. Just for anyone who wants to look on a map. But pretty close to downtown there by the river. And I was like, oh, that's cool that you're like close to the river. And he's like, no, it's filth. Like, you can't swim in it or nothing. And then he's like, a month ago, they found a dismembered woman's body. Like, right over there. Along the river. Like right near their place. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's a lot to take in at once.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah. So literally, it's just not a great place in terms of, that. I don't even know what to call that. Like, it's not even culture. It's just, there's something fucked up with the drugs and the counterculture there. It's driven people to become really aggressive. So
let's move on to some
you kind of feel on your
stuff.
Toes from some of that.
Okay. Move on to some fun stuff.
Yeah. So then we were at the Palomino. That was the night after karaoke. And that night, oh my God, I was wrecked.
Karaoke?
No, the night after when we were at the dance club. Because I went home and like the next morning going to work, I literally sat up in the edit room with Rob for like an hour while Brian was out photographing. Because I was just like, what am I doing? Who am I? I might still be drunk. And like, and we were joking about it for the day too. But yeah, I think that was the one day that I absolutely felt like, oh, this is too much. I shouldn't do anything.
You still did.
Yeah, but then you do. Like, that's the nature of being out, especially with a group like that. When they're also just such fun people. Like, you probably don't need to drink that much to be around each other and have fun, but you just end up doing it because that's what everyone wants to do. So, yeah, and that was nice because literally those 2 days of the competition were the only really big heavy days for us, the only full days for us. So the day after that, all I had to do was photograph the winner's circle. So that was the end of the conference, like competition's over. The only thing we had to do was come in for, I think, noon or something was when it started. And everyone else sets up all the backdrops and stuff. And we borrowed some lights from the photography guy there, because photography is one of the things you can compete in as well. So there's a bunch of instructors and like judges and stuff for that who are also covering the event for their teams. So that guy there was an instructor and he had a ton of gear. So we are like, hey, can we borrow some lights? Because like we didn't bring any. And
Well, yeah, you were traveling. You can't.
well, we could have, but I forget why Brian decided that we shouldn't need them. But Rob and I were both pitching him like, dude, I think we should.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see the setup of exactly where we were going to shoot beforehand because like it was being used for other stuff at the moment. So you had to wait for everyone else to tear out their stuff and unpack and then show up like a couple hours before to see, oh, this is where we're shooting.
Gotcha.
So that's why I was like, we should have some lights. So then we can control all the lighting. And we were doing a tethered setup, which he hadn't done in the past, which means my camera is directly plugged into the laptop. So every time I click the shutter, like it's immediately on the laptop. We have the edit presets applied. Rob just does a little bit of a recrop, and then he's airdropping that photo to the social media lady who's right next to him. Mm-hmm. So it was like instant delivery because they wanted them up and on their socials and stuff.
Totally.
Like as soon as it's announced, pretty much.
Yeah. And you recently did that, so you know.
Yeah. And
That
that was part of why I wanted to do that shoot as well. Was to be like test that setup and see how easily does this work? How reliable is my tethers? Like, can I do this under a extreme time crunch? But it worked out. It was awesome. We fumbled a little at the beginning, just figuring out the timing of it. Because like every time I would shoot a frame, if Rob was working on something, then it would immediately bump him to like the new image that comes in. So we had to kind of figure out our timing. But it worked out nicely because as each team came in, then I would just sort of put the camera down, spend like, I don't know, it wasn't much time either, in like 30 seconds or something, just sort of posing the team, getting them in the right places. And and then by that time, Rob was usually done with that. So, but that was hectic. Really hectic, but thankfully we had Alex. Alex. Yeah, Alex. Sorry, I feel like I'm blanking on names. She's also done a lot of work with them, and she worked with the youth group. Like they had part of I still don't fully understand. I'm sorry, Alex, if you're listening to this, but she was an incredible hype girl. She was getting all the energy going, and she had to hold up. Like we would shoot. She had little pieces of paper that would have like whatever the category was now, and then like who this team is and all the names of the people. So I would shoot her holding that paper first. So then we would know, okay, that next frame is this team and that people under this category. Totally. It's awesome. But then she went the extra mile and she would stand around and hype. She'd be like, yeah, like, come on, yeah, like you're the best in Canada.
Honestly,
Smile.
I think
like,
that's very important
cool.
because people who are getting their photograph taken, especially if you're not used to it, and I think especially with people who do that kind of skill or art or whatever, all of that is art to me. They're very introverted in a way. Like they are extroverted via their project or their passion or whatever. Yeah. And so standing in front of a camera is hell. Yeah. So good for her.
It totally is. Well, and I can imagine too, there's the whirlwind. Like there was, I think it was the girl who won for hairstyling from Quebec. And she was just so overwhelmed. Like, you know, like just in almost a hysteria of like, oh my God, I can't believe I won. And like,
anxious. Yeah.
Yeah. But also like just so great, like just overwhelmed, right? Yeah. Just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe that I've won. And like, she also got, so within the winners, they have a thing called Best of Region. So across all of the disciplines, there's also somebody who wins, like you are the like best of Quebec. So it doesn't matter like refrigeration, industrial hairstyling, whatever, like, but you get to be like the best in Quebec for the competition. And she also won that. So I think it was like that double whammy of like first in your category and best in region. Mm-hmm. And she was like this like tiny, petite, little, almost like goth. No. Nice. Like she had really cool, crazy makeup and awesome hair. And yeah, but she was just so overwhelmed. So trying to get her like in position with her group Also, there was like an English-French barrier for a lot of the Quebec people.
For
It
sure.
was kind of funny. 'Cause I'm like, here, stand here, go here. And a lot of them are like, what? English? I'm like, I don't know how to help you. I got 30 seconds. Like, just stand here and smile.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was so good having Alex there to really bring that energy, and all the other groups, there were all the other volunteers there. So they would give them a flag when they come in too. So they like hold their flag and they have their medals. And then there's this other group of volunteers that would help direct them in and out, take the flags from them, give them the flags.
Takes a lot of pressure off of you guys too.
Totally. But that's part of what made it move so smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think at maximum we had a backup of like 2, maybe 3 teams waiting for their photograph. Because when they started rattling off the winners, it was like, bah, 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 there's just people coming. And then you get a small little break while they change categories and like some little talk in there. So that's when Rob would catch up and like send the images over to the social media lady. But yeah, that was crazy. But I felt like it went really smooth. So even though it was fast moving and seemingly chaotic, I was always exactly where I should be, knew what I should be doing. We dialed in. Yeah. Well, and we dialed in a way of like, okay, here's how we're going to frame and shoot them. Like Rob was giving me some feedback at the beginning. He's like, hey, you're a little tight here. You should widen out. Or, can we get them in closer? Can we do this? So it took a couple of teams and then suddenly we nailed it. So
that's good.
That felt really nice.
Anything else you want to say about your trip?
You should visit Winnipeg. Yeah.
Let me tell you about my trip while Jake was on his trip. I was really bored. I had to work. It was a long weekend. Came to Tuesday. Went to work. Anytime that Jake goes away, and Jake rarely goes away, but when he does, all the things that I like to do while he was here, I don't want to do them. I'm bored. I was so bored.
I'm sorry.
I was so bored. I was so bored. Like, I didn't know what the fuck to do. But I'll tell you, when you went to Edmonton, I lived like a pig. I lived in shit like everywhere. Garbage everywhere. I did not clean up after myself. I did nothing.
Hey, let's be honest. I lived like a pig too.
Yeah. But you were in a hotel.
Yeah.
But anyways, so this time I actually cleaned up because I thought I would do something. And then after that, I fed myself. I bought shit. I did skip the dishes or I just didn't eat.
Yeah.
I actually, one night, I didn't even know that I didn't eat until the morning. I'm like, you know what? I didn't fucking eat dinner. Oh my God. I didn't eat dinner.
Cooking for one's hard though.
It
I understand.
So hard. And you pre-cooked some steaks for me and I still didn't eat them.
What?
I didn't eat them.
Aww.
I felt really bad, but when I looked at them, I was like, that's already pre-cooked. That's not gonna be good if I like cook it again. I don't like it.
You just gotta warm it. It's not cooking it.
I can't do that. It's too much work. And what else did I do? I didn't actually get anything done besides the cleaning early in the week. I didn't get anything else done until like Saturday. Saturday is when I hit my stride where I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something. And at 10 o'clock at night, I started ripping our basement ceiling out. So it took me a long time. But I finally was like, yeah, I'll do something. And it took me late in the night or Friday. What did I do Friday? Friday and Saturday night, I stayed up really late.
Yeah.
Like really late, just doing things. I finally was like, I'm going to do stuff. Rip the ceiling down. Then I had to clean that shit up. And I've been dying to clean Jake's desk. So I cleaned that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
And then organize everything around it.
Mm-hmm. And that also looks amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's my job. I'm great.
It's like a brand new basement.
It looks really good. But now I'm gung-ho to get some shit done down here. But what else did I do? That's basically all I did. I had my own karaoke night. I karaoke'd Saturday night. Oh, yeah. With Honey snuggling with me. But then she doesn't like it when people sing. So she was attacking my face.
She doesn't like loud music.
She doesn't like loud singing either. And I'll
No.
tell you, I was not sounding good. I was not. And there are some times where I do sound good, but I was not sounding good at all.
That's funny.
What else did I do though? Jake, you tell me. I remember just texting Jake and being like, I'm fucking bored. And I'm sorry that I'm telling you I'm bored, but I'm bored.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad.
And you were making me so jealous with all the cool activities you were doing. And I'm like, fuck, because I got to go to work the next day.
I had to go to work too.
That's fine. But I was also like, nobody was available to do anything.
No.
What else did I do though? So I cleaned, karaoke'd, ripped down the ceiling.
You painted the banister?
Oh, okay. So we have a railing down our stairs, of course. And I was like, I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to paint it. I just want to see what that looks like. So I painted it black. And then I kind of did that worn look where, because it was white underneath. So you can see a little bit of white. It doesn't actually look that great if you look at it from the top or look at it from the bottom. But when you're walking down it, it looks fine.
It doesn't look great when you're looking at it. But when you use it and you look at the floor, it's
inspiration for what the basement could look like. And I was just like, fuck it. If it doesn't look good, we can still fix it. Fuck it. We can actually literally wipe all that off because I used acrylic paint. I didn't use the right paint. Oh my God. I was going to say something else. What else did I do? Painted that. Oh, I took the door off of the door to. We have a door to the basement that also hits our side door, and I was like, "Fuck this! Let's take this off. Let's just see what it looks like." And honestly, it's awesome. Now you can just have a straight shot downstairs. You don't have to wait for nothing. Those cats don't have to be like, "I'm on a roll" and like stop in front of the door. They can just fly down those stairs.
So good.
But other than that, I also played online Mario Party, kicked ass, and Mario Kart. Actually did pretty good there. Not gonna lie.
You said you kicked some butt on some races.
I did. Yeah. Online.
That's hardcore.
I'm very surprised. I came in first a few times. A few times.
Nice.
I know. I'm very surprised. And then after when I tried to play, I just fucking suck. So it's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just complained a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like being alone. Jake and I have spent almost every day together for the past 2 years. And this is the longest time he's been away. And it fucking sucks. I hated it. And you know what? I have a problem.
What's your problem?
Separation anxiety.
Yeah.
We cuddle too much, which means I'm addicted to you. And it's annoying because I used to live alone before. And alone was like, I loved it. I didn't want anybody around. And now we've spent too much time together. And I'm like, go away. You suck. You're making me feel like shit being alone. Don't ever actually go away. Come back. I was so annoying. I was so annoying. And I felt really bad because you would do stuff and I'd be like, oh, okay. Okay, have fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to blame you. Like you were enjoying. I need to learn how to be alone again. And so when he was also gone, I would sleep with a nightlight, our fuck off neon sign, which is like a nightlight, and my computer with me in the bedroom, playing movies all night.
This is why the electric bill is so high.
It wasn't always plugged in.
I know. But
Bad or
I
real
agree.
problem.
You know, all of that, like, you know, it's tough when you're on the road like that because the options are either stay in your hotel by yourself and do nothing.
Oh my God. I'd always choose going out.
Like, yeah, so of course I'm going to choose going out.
And that's not to make you feel bad.
Yeah, yeah. But
I didn't mean to make you feel bad. I'm sorry.
I mean, I felt bad, but also I was like, well, I mean,
I want you to do those things. I don't want you to think about me feeling bad. I was just being really annoying. I'm sorry.
No, you weren't annoying, but
I didn't mean to make you feel
bad. I'm circling all that back around to say, though, given all of that, I'm like, I still would have rather been doing stuff with you or like had you there
Yeah,
joining us
I
with
wanted
it. Like,
to be there. It looked
that's
like
what
a
I
lot.
bring it
It looked
around
like a
to.
lot of fun. I was real jelly.
We did.
It
And like,
was like, you're not gonna talk to me until tomorrow now.
I know, that's where I feel the worst in a way.
Oh,
Because
but
you go out and
please
you get
don't.
silly and you're like,
Please don't. You
oh,
can't
I'm
feel
gonna talk to
bad at that
somebody.
point. You are not
Okay, but
tethered to me. You are not supposed to be able. You're not supposed to check in all the time.
no,
You don't
like,
have to do that.
not meaning I feel like I have to check in, but just feeling like when I have the time before bed to call, it's always like you're not giving your best self. It's like it's you showing up at the end of the night in your worst shape.
No,
And feeling
that's
like, man, that sucks
dumb.
to only be checking in that way.
No, that's not it. You didn't do that. You checked in before you were fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's what drove me to do those things. I'm like, okay, I don't want to just check in and be like, yeah, here I am with that obligatory right before I'm about to pass out.
I never
and
felt like
black
that.
out.
I never felt like that.
No. And I think that's a good indicator of our relationship though, where it's like, hey, I don't want to just have an obligatory check-in. It's like, hey, I'm away and I miss you. And I want to hear what you're doing, or I want to fill you in on what I've been doing or what I'm struggling with or what I'm enjoying. Like, I want to just check in from time to time.
And I don't want to be that one on the other end being like, hey, do you remember me?
Yeah.
Like, can you
Not
check
at all.
in with me? And not for you. I just
Mhm.
want to be talked to. Like,
Totally.
No. And yeah, I don't want you to feel, no, that's not at all what our relationship is like.
No.
It's not obligatory at all. It's we want to check in. And there were times when on the nights that I actually stayed up late where we would check and we would talk later.
Mhm.
But yeah.
But it reminded me of our like the early days of our relationship when we weren't spending as much time together all day long.
When was that? We were together a lot.
Good joke. No, but like in the mornings, right? Like sending
Oh, okay.
notes, or even when I would send like little guitar riffs and bits and things.
At
and,
6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, because I was an early bird.
Sicko.
Man, where'd that? Well, no, I was still up early. It was just foggy and didn't have a guitar. But no, it reminded me of that. Waking up and feeling like, oh, she's not right here. But like, I want to say hi. I want to say good morning. I want to check in. I want to just be like, okay, you're here.
Can I tell you the only benefit of you being away?
Yeah.
I had more bed space,
Yeah.
which gave me more space for both cats to come join. Less kicking around,
That's good.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
100%. I
But-
had 2 beds.
Fuck you. Did you push them together? Because I would definitely sleep on a diagonal if I would push those.
Okay, you know what was funny
And-
is the one night we went out, Rob's friend had drove downtown and he got really wasted and he stayed in Rob's room with him,
Okay.
but they only have 1 bed there.
Ah, that's adorable.
I know.
He should have slept in your room.
I know. But then the next day, that's why we were all talking. He was like, wait, you don't have 2 beds? And he's like, what? You have 2 beds? I'm like, yeah. And then like a bunch of us were like, yeah, we have 2 beds. He's like, fuck you guys. Like, you should have stayed with you.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It was funny. But Rob also got poolside. Like there was an indoor pool there. And Rob's room was like right next to the pool.
Oh, I see. Did you
So I'm
guys
like-
even spend any time at the pool though?
Yeah. Me, Rob, and Brian. We went down to the
Oh.
hot tub for a while.
I didn't know that.
We also met
Okay.
this other couple who were they were a retired couple from Vancouver, and they were doing like a train trip across Canada, and Winnipeg was one of
Cool.
their stops. So yeah, Rob was filling them in on like, here's some places you should see if you
That's
haven't
cool.
gone yet. But also we were asking them about the trip and stuff because, you know, they were like, you know, up there, they're middle aged and being like, hey, we haven't like seen our country. We should do something about that.
Mhm.
So they hopped on the train.
I was telling you how nice it is to have somebody from the area that has an idea
100%.
of what to see, especially, well, not especially, even if it's been a long time and he doesn't remember what a club is like, right?
Yep. No, and that's my favorite kind of travel like I think that's what made this trip special to me, was like having my friend Eder there, getting to meet his wife, and then being with this group of people who, you know, like Rob knows the town. This group all knows each other. You feel like you're kind of walking into this cool little family or community, or like you have connection there, instead of just showing up and being like, what is this building about?
You can tell based on the pictures that the group shots that you just took, like all of you got along really well. It looked like a lot of fun, no drama, just work, fun, go back to work, like all cool.
And the bit of drama, it's like, it's laughable, you know, it's not like, yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Because on the video team, there was a guy, Paul, who him and I looked a lot alike.
Oh, yeah.
And so we had a funny photo later on, too. We swapped glasses and took a photo together. He was always wearing a hat most of the time, but like he took off his hat.
You should have brought your hat.
No, I brought 0 hats. That was a mistake. But it was funny. So that became a big joke, too. And, oh, right. So the last night there, the skills group, they put together a whole was it like a networking party night of their own at the Met Theater, and some of us wandered over to that for like an hour or 2 hours, and this lady came up to me and started like tapping me on the chest, and she was like, "Hey, Paul, I've been wanting to talk to you." And then I looked at her and she's like, "Wait, you're not Paul." And I looked at Brian, and like we all started laughing, because that night we had been like, that was a night of throwing jokes about how much Paul and I looked alike.
You did, for sure. In those pictures, at least.
It was so funny. So I found a doppelganger. There was also a poster from some business with a guy who looked like me, and then I look like Blue's Clues. So
no, you don't.
Apparently, I'm really well known in Winnipeg.
You're hot. And that's a great way to stop.
Exactly. And on that note, thank you everybody for listening. Hope you enjoy Winnipeg sometime. And also,
I don't think I'll ever go there.
No, we'll go there sometime.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.